the changes that I have made in myself over the last nearly 4 months, 3.5 months, have been the most staggering, eye-opening results that I've ever accomplished. All right, everybody, what's up? Coach Rob here, back in the saddle again after being conspicuously absent for a long time. I don't know, has it been like 2 months? I don't know. Feels like it's been forever, but there's been a lot going on. Now, listen, I know there are some of you out there, see me getting to the point, because you bitch about that a lot. There's some of you out there that are like, I don't give a crap what's going on in your life. I just want to tune in to be quickly told about the meat stuff, the training stuff, the whatever stuff, and I don't really give a crap one way or another why you're here or why you're not here. And that's fine. I respect that. You're the get to the point people. But I do have a handful of people out there that might be interested to know just what the hell's been going on in my life, why I've been so absent, even though multiple times I've expressed, my sincere desire to give you regular content, and I was trying to do that on a weekly basis, but then that shit the bed and everything went sideways, and here we go. Here's what I've been up to. Let me break it down for those who care. To get you completely caught up and up to speed, it has been a roller coaster. And I felt like I'd owed you an explanation. My life has been a crazy roller coaster since stepping down or stepping away from competitive bodybuilding in literally fall of 2021. Yeah, it's been that long. It seems like a whole lifetime ago, and it kind of was. I went through some shit up here in my life with my family. And I'd been expressing on this platform and others that I'd made that decision to step away from competitive bodybuilding, which I did for almost 10 years. And I wanted to do something that was more about health focused, longevity, performance, being the best human being I could be at my age, whatever my age was. And I'm 55 years old. I'll be 56 in November. And I meant every word of that. And I was excited about the future and what my next steps were going to be and what the future held. But I was stuck in this weird identity crisis at the time. And sometimes, and some of you can relate to this, sometimes it's just hard to step away, almost like some of these athletes that it's time to retire, but they just can't step away because that's their identity. It's who they are. It's what they identify as. And there is this void. There's an emptiness within you when you walk away from something that you've put so much effort into, so much heart and soul, and your family was there with you in the trenches. It encompassed you. It absorbed you. And it even came through in what you do for a living and how you earn a living and feed your family. That's what competitive bodybuilding was for me for nearly a decade, starting in 2014 and finally stepping away in 2021. I have to have a goal. I have to aspire to something. And the reason I tell you all this stuff is because I know there's many of you out there who feel the same way. I do consultations. I have these check-ins, these video check-ins with my clients, and they share that same sentiment. So coming into 2023, I still knew I needed to take a change of direction. And then my life got uprooted by my mother having cancer, and for several months early in 2023, fighting that battle with her, becoming literally a full-time caregiver for a time, living through her decline, her fight, her struggle, ultimately succumbing to cancer. And I lost my mother in 2023. And it truly, 2023 was one of the worst years of my life. And I've expressed this. After all that, I continued that being in that gray space of not knowing what the future held for me and what I wanted to do. Long story short, in 2024, it took that damn long to get my shit together. 2024, it was one of these just weird triggers, epiphany moments where I said, okay, I know what I want to do. I want to focus solely on health, longevity, performance, the aesthetic goal, looking good. That's all I had done. For all that time I was competing in bodybuilding, the only thing that was truly important was how I looked. Ultimately, standing on stage in less than my underwear, up against other guys, truly competing to do something, to win something that we had worked literally a year every second of the day to try to accomplish. And really, you don't get anything out of it but a damn medal, or a little trophy, but you get the validation of knowing that you did something that very few people do, and you put forth the greatest effort that you could put forth, and you did everything you could to try to attain something way bigger than yourself. And that was cool. But then coming into all that I went through, trying to struggle with my identity and who I was, and realizing that I have to have a goal. I have to have drive towards something. There has to be a summit to reach. Finally, in 2024, I was still doing some training in the gym, still training pretty hard. Not super hard, not as hard as I did when I was competing. But, I was doing a little training. I started doing more rucking, and I've been rucking on and off since 2017, I think, is when I started doing that, and really enjoyed that. And I started taking a lot of deep dives into the rucking thing in 2024, and really kind of thought, this is something I could take to another level, because I enjoy the idea and the concept of these crazy efforts, and I have a massive amount of respect for the endurance community, the ultra community. I just had this moment where just like the light bulb went off over my head, and I was like, this rucking thing, I am a hybrid athlete now. That is a very popular, kind of a trendy term going around, but it's not new. But now there's a label on it. And I decided, being a hybrid athlete, that's what I want to do. I want to have equal emphasis basically on two competing disciplines. You have the strength training discipline, the weightlifting in the gym, which is something I love and, obviously, and I've been doing my whole life and plan on doing forever. And then I thought, how can I take this rucking thing and push it to a stupid level, worthy of having these huge goals? So I decided, you know what? I'm not just going to ruck with 40 pounds on my back, but I want to cover some serious distances here in the mountains where I live, especially ultimately, and really shoot for something once again that seems way beyond me, that seems bigger than me. Like bodybuilding did when I first started in 2014. Even though I'd been involved in bodybuilding, for a decade in the 90s and had been in that culture for years, I didn't know how I was going to fare in terms of actually standing on stage myself. I mean, who knew? Who knows? And I found out I had a knack for it. I had the genetics for it. I had the drive and the work ethic for it. So now I decided that I'm going to be a hybrid athlete, because by being this hybrid athlete, it truly will give me an opportunity to focus not only on being, having the strength element in the gym with the strength training and the hypertrophy training, but also that cardiovascular capacity element that will help elevate my health and, my longevity and be able to handle anything that might cross my path, something I've expressed. So fast forward on April the 1st, April Fool's Day, I decided, what's a dumbass goal that may be beyond me? So I thought, what are the ultra distances? So I'm not just going to ruck. I'm going to ruck long. I'm going to have some goals to where I'm going to step out there and do something that is probably beyond me, that's going to be very difficult, very hard, super challenging. So if I accomplish these things, I will have that same level of massive accomplishment, and I had suffered through something enormously in pursuit of something well beyond me or beyond my potential capacity at my age. A lot of 55-year-old guys aren't doing this dumb shit. So in the ultra distances, you've got, in my mind, there was the 50K, that's 32 miles. Anything over the marathon distance, 26.2, is considered an ultra marathon. So they usually have like the 50K. So I thought, okay, there's the 50K, there's the 50 mile. So the 50K is 32 miles, the 50 mile is 50 miles. Then there's the 100K, 62 miles, and then there's 100 miles. Wouldn't it be wild if I rucked those distances? Okay, that sounds dumb. I'm going to do that. I started training on April the 1st. I rucked 5 days a week. I strength trained 4 days a week. I put together a training plan. I put together a diet that was carnivore based. And ultimately on July the 6th, I finished goal 1 by completing a 32-mile ruck in the mountains. Very difficult, very hot, but I did it. I finished it, and check, that one's off the list. And there's going to be a video forthcoming where I'm going to share my experiences of that and talk more about my goals and plans of being the best hybrid athlete that I can. So that gives me an opportunity to talk to you wonderful people about not only strength training and retaining and building muscle, but also things outside of the strength training realm in the endurance realm that give massive benefit in terms of your health and longevity and performance and all these things and overall capacity. The result of my training starting in April 1st, culminating up to the event, is I lost 25 pounds. I got down below, right at or slightly below 10% body fat again. Hadn't been there in a while. Hadn't been there since my last competition in 2021. I found my focus through this new endeavor, through this shift in training ideology. And it has been some of the hardest stuff I've ever done in my life, and I've done a lot in my career. But it's given me this hope and purpose for the future of new things that I have in front of me. So I still have a 50-mile ruck challenge coming up in a couple of months in the mountains. And then in 2025, I plan to do my 100K ruck challenge. And then ultimately, definitely want to do a self-supported 100-mile ruck in the mountains with everything that I need on my back for that 100 miles, which is going to be, a couple of days, obviously. There'll be some night rucking. It's going to be pretty damn epic. And I'm looking forward to that challenge. It'll probably be, and I'm quite sure it'll be hands down the hardest thing I've ever done. So, life update. You see the direction that I've been going. It's the direction that I've been alluding to and talking about, but now it is truly in motion. We have put this thing into motion. So now I want to be able to give you this information that is going to, I think, appeal to a much broader group of people. So if you are watching this and you are looking to be the most badass human that you can possibly be, to reach your optimized genetic potential, then stick around. I'm excited that I finally got my head out of my ass. It only took a couple of years. And now I'm on a path that every day is really exciting to see the changes in my health metrics, which I'll talk about in that upcoming video. It's been dramatic. It's been absolutely dramatic. As much as I've been doing this my entire life, my entire career as a coach and a trainer and an athlete, the changes that I have made in myself over the last nearly 4 months, 3.5 months, have been the most staggering, eye-opening results that I've ever accomplished and been through. So to say, I'm excited about the direction and my future and what it means for this channel is an understatement. If you can't tell, I'm excited. It is such a wonderful place to be in that I know that I finally have carved out my new purpose and I have a sense of direction. And it's going to help me live my remaining years, in my 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, the most optimized form that I could possibly be at any age, God willing. Unless I get hit by a bus. So there's my life update. It was a very, very tough time between the fall of 2021 up to the start of 2024. It took that long for me to really get my shit together and then take massive action and really zero in. And to a level, if not as much or more so, that I took it when I was competing in bodybuilding. I mean, one thing I was very proud of is once I locked into something, I was in it 100%. I didn't cheat on my diet. I never missed a workout. I never missed a step of cardio. I focused on my recovery. I did all the things. And I'm doing that again now. And admittedly, I'm even a little ashamed to admit it, but April the 1st, 2024, I was back at that. So, there's my life update. And my solemn promise to you that I've got some great content coming. And I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to start filming some of this stuff, to start editing some of the stuff and getting it uploaded to this channel for your consumption and digestion. And I hope you enjoy what the future holds for this channel. Some of you may not want this much diversity in what I'm doing. Some of you may like the old hardcore bodybuilding, please, sir, with a ketogenic diet. Well, those days are over. But all the information I give here, you're going to be able to extract a little something, I think, that is going to pertain to what you're trying to be. A machine. The most high-performing human machine that you can possibly be. Until next time, train hard, diet harder, but above all else, do whatever you got to do to have a great freaking day. And I promise you, the future looks bright. Till next time, checking out.